Yeah, I mean, if you're again talking about like what you'd expect out of them out of a T side here, should be able to find out pretty soon because we're hopping into the
Yes.
action. But that's exactly what I want to anticipate is M80 coming through with these very good calls towards middle. I feel like this roster uses that side of the map very effectively. You'll see Sin kind of fight forward for it, gets very aggressive in their face, and is good at cutting off those rotations when they play out on that side of the map. But we'll see them start off on this T side. Flashbang to pick up a lot of information. Bruce Breeze ducks in and out. They're going to face a full execute right now, and there's no rotates close by, so you gotta hope that these USPs can defend against it. Hex with a shot through the smoke connects, and already a 4v5 post plant gonna line up here. Swisher takes control towards E-Box, claiming a quick kill. More being charged down as well, with the dual Berettas offering up further resistance. They're losing out on those extra rotates. Another player has fallen. They still gotta be weary of OC's potential aggro through this E-Box, but now they're starting to crunch on in on this CT side. There's a quick one from OC. The flank formulates as well. They've got everyone looking every which way, but Sin and Swisher are going to close it out, and they will complete it. I combine the two there.
That works. We'll call them the Sinners. The Sinner, if you want to combine. I don't know if anyone understand that, though. Would they realize you're talking about Swisher? Anyway, whatever.
Or just that they think they're a Czech organization there.
Yeah. Anyway, great work in terms of that combination that they pulled off in that round, and Swisher in particular at 3K, getting off to a very hot start here on Anubis, and 1-0 for M80. The same was the case in the previous map, of course, for M80. They got a 4-0 lead, and then things started to slowly but surely get chipped away at by NRG. Automatic, waiting with the 5-7. It is a 4-spy coming through for NRG. Lake, ooh, firing off a few bullets, and Automatic hears them whiz by his ear, as that smoke's going to get tossed out by NRG towards A main. M80 kind of playing defaults right now, waiting for pushes to come out. Sin taking the initiative a little bit, spots some information, baiting up for the Galil, and it doesn't really work in terms of frags, but I love the idea.
Yeah, they try and get him to chase there, and then bam, all of a sudden you're in a long range duel with the Galil instead of a close range fight with the MAC-10. I like it. Let's see what you're going with here. M80 trying to set the trap on this default that holds strong. This is what they do effective though. Rek so good at tossing in some supportive utility from this A side now. As they take care of him, they're going to also need to find out where Sin is playing, and he will be great backup in that A main front, joining forces. The rest of the roster moves through camera. It looks like comfort for the closing statement here on the side of M80. The couple of, well, a casualty, and probably an easy call to save if you're Hex.
Yeah, no question. A lot of money invested into this round by NRG. And Hex hoping that he can keep this UMP up. We saw the UMP coming out a lot more often. I would say like 3 months ago, we thought it was going to enter the meta more significantly, but I've seen it slowly just slip back into obscurity, honestly, and not many players are utilizing it that much. So, yeah, X does manage to keep the UMP in his hands with that frag there, and it will be 2-0 in favor of M80 running into this round. I imagine Rek and Lake are going to go for some SMGs, maybe? I don't know if they're going to fully invest here. Yeah.
Should they? Yeah, I mean, not too interested in it. Going all in, they'll toss that utility around, try and set themselves up. It's a little extra resistance. Again, you got Nitro with the CZ. Classic. She's gonna be good. No, it's a swing first. Your Hex will knock down 2 quick kills.
Okay.
Off the back of the flashbang from OC. Excellent setup. And avoiding a lot of the early problems. Now it's Slack's trying to remove the weaponry. As he tosses out his gun, grabs the AK to make sure that they can't use it against him. One of those could be recovered though, at least. And quick little 5v3. Definitely is recoverable for a T side, but gotta play their cards right.
Yeah, that was, well, UMP showing what it can do, I suppose. Max getting a 2K rather rapidly. You see, I mean, M80's chipping away at Breeze there. but they can't find an opening frag on their side, and they've already lost 2 players. Here comes the full-on execute towards that B site, and this is exactly what they need. And Rec could bottle up 3 players immediately. There's 1, 2, and the third. There you go. And all of a sudden, things are right back in the control of M80, thanks to, of course, the fact that it was an eco round for NRG, and they just don't have the firepower for sustained fights. Here come 2 players, Nitro along with Breeze from Palace. Nitro waiting for the smoke to fade, could push out through it, but they have no util and no body armor, so this seems nigh impossible for them to pull off, Cole.
I'm gonna stick around, fade the smoke. I feel like nowadays it's not as effective as it used to be. Sometimes you get caught kind of exposed a second earlier than when you can actually gain vision on your opponents. That gray screen lasts a little longer. But M80 converting despite down 5v3, despite the efficiency out of that UMP. And what it does do is give an op over to OC full belts of utility for everybody on that first gun round. And I think it's something I highlighted when NRG were playing on Ancient. Didn't have the best buy coming through out of the gates for a third round buy. Well, here on Anubis, they got everything they could ask for, including an op. All the utilities set them up for any sort of aggressive moves that they could ask for. Or if they want to hold back a little more passive, try and hold on to that utility, you can get away with that as well. Looks like they'll choose the latter out of the gates.
A lot of pressure here onto the B site by M80, and I mean, NRG is going to try 2 smokes on the same spot. That is unfortunate for them, and Slacks managed to get one. I don't know if that was in mid-air or not. It might be the UI a little bit off there, but Swisher finds the follow-up as well, and yeah, this is just M80 storming in towards the B site and leaving no players standing. Automatic does get one on the periphery, but I feel like NRG are already set up for a save.
Dude, that was insane. What an execute. Just tossed him with conviction behind it. So many HEs and Molotovs tossed in. You can see Hex was just waiting behind a back dark position, and as soon as he tries to get a little util off, hold his ground, he's met by flashes, he's met by spam and HEs. There's just hellfire on that B bomb site. And that is one of the challenges, I feel like, in terms of holding back and playing passive. If that's the game plan you're gonna go with, it becomes very difficult. It does require, a huge performance out of Hex and Breeze to lock in a site defense. Someone needs to get a multi-kill, someone needs to, get a couple of frags, and then you're able to stay alive as well for a retake.
Yeah, I think they might be discussing potentially some adjustments to be making here as a timeout's been called, and they were able to recover from a 4-0 deficit over on Ancient, but here, being down 4-0 on Anubis is a little bit of a different story because obviously M80 is on the T side, and you can start to pile up the rounds that CTs won't be able to have much of an impact at all. So let's see if NRG can put a stop to this. This is an important one coming through. They have the full loss bonus, so if they manage their economy well, they can still ensure themselves a decent buy-up in the follow-up round, which I feel like they've pretty much done. Automatic and Hex will be okay. Breeze as well. Maybe you'll see a couple of SMGs and afterwards on OC and Nitro. But overall, if they should lose this round, they'll be okay for a decent buy-up in the follow-up. They don't want to, though. They want to come out with a round victory. OC with the AWP could be a difference maker in that department. Let's see. Going and peeking out towards bridge, but no one's there for M80. They're giving mid to NRG should NRG decide to push, and again tossing that util in. I like those nades. If anyone's playing pillar, they're dead, but they weren't, luckily for NRG. And M80 trying to sell it there towards this B site. I mean, Breeze is peeking out pretty aggressively here, tosses the incendiary into nothingness. I would say it's not going to do anything being thrown there, but at least keep Swisher and M80 a little bit at bay.
Seen them go for that quite a bit. Try and cover off like early E-box pressure. Oh, this peek from Slacks. I mean, Slacks is going to see him first by quite a bit. Both shots sent downrange go awry. No connections, and if you're OC, you're probably pretty happy with that end result, considering just mere moments away from certain death. Reaggression, though, is being watched. Oh, automatic threads the timing perfectly, but it's still claimed by Sin behind him. There's more resistance where that came from as well. Sin another kill. As Lake finds the follow-up, E-Box gets blasted. It's a nice flank coming through from Nitro, but it might be a little too late. Gotta put more pressure on OC. But he's smoked off. And it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that can help them with that buy-up next round is 2 saved guns, and that looks like it should come to fruition. M80 have the argument, given the money they have, to go for a bit of a hunt. I don't know if they'll necessarily want to. We'll see. Oh, Lake's already pushing up. Lake and OC gonna have a duel here. Who will spot the other first? Oh, it's actually OC who fires first, but Lake who actually connects on the shot. Nitro, the last one standing. No ops saved. And they're gonna hunt really aggressively now because they know there's only one player left. Nitro can catch one off though, and he does. Gives him his position up, but it won't matter. He will be able to at least save the A1S into the next round. That said, M80 off to an even better start than they were on Ancient with a 5-0 lead.
This is clean on the T side. This is that conviction that I'm talking about. Got a lot of practice on this map at showing what they're made of in these calls. This time able to handle re-aggression in a big way. I mean, we highlighted that as maybe a potential problem factor for NRG. This time they try and get aggressive, but they're running into the strong default. They're running into this mid play, and they're fully prepared for it. And through E-Box, they get blasted just the same. Oh, now it's going to be some pressure on from Nitro. Getting a little frisky. Playing around the smoke, looking to charge his way on in. Not given anything just yet. There's a pressure on the B side as well, so all over the map they go flying in. Slack's gonna get a flashbang to peek off the back of this. Wreck, we don't want to toss it in. That's a Molotov, rather. It just flushes him right into the AWP. Nitro gets knocked down, and who wants to go up next? Automatic steps up to the plate. Guys, I got it. Same result on the floor.
Yeah. Battle up from Slack, says OC does manage to finally drop him, but in the meantime, Lake pushes through mid and takes down Hex.
Ooh.
OC does flick for a second. Not really a flick, but just manages to hold the right angle there onto Lake. 3v2 for M80. You have to imagine here that NRG are still thinking about a save in this situation because of their economy. And yeah, they're just going to back off. Kind of unfortunate for them because they're making the rounds close, just that they can't justify risking going in due to their economy being in such a dire position.
A little nerve-wracking as well with some of the aggression that I'm seeing. I feel like there's a healthy mix of sometimes you just want to get after it. Sometimes you just want to contact, you want to take a duel, you want to hope that, you know, on the other side of the server, there's not a lot of presence being defaulted there, but they push on the B side of the map and the A side of the map, both without, you know, a lot of utility or extra firepower. I don't know how that B push, you know, fared up. I think they just, you know, traded HEs and backed off, and I think that was designed so that the contact could take place a little more efficient. But the B push got them nothing, no ground at all. Whereas, you know, you would expect or hope that if that B push is successful, that maybe, just maybe, that would turn the attention of those A players away. You'd have a chance to maybe get active, but that wasn't the case. It's shut down pretty swiftly there, and in the end, it's just more opening impact from Slacks. His op is just so good on this map, and you're seeing it in full force right now. And this, for me, I feel like has to be, you know, on both sides of the half. I think there's always moves that you can make effective as an opper, and I don't know if this is shown in the stats, but it might be one of the best op maps from what I've seen recently.
Wouldn't necessarily be that surprising. A lot of angles go with the op, and all of a sudden Swisher is going to get hexed here. I was going to say it's a 4v4 and Sin was dropped, and maybe NRG would be able to do something. I like that smoke pop that they were able to pull off. Good little sequence from Breeze and his teammate, but now M80 immediately gained the man advantage once more. Rec waiting outside the smoke. Here comes the B hit again. It's been exceptionally successful for M80. There's only one player here. It's Breeze. He's kind of trapped as well. I mean, his teammates are coming through, but he's already going to be dead before they get here. Here we go. Freebie for Rec because Breeze is so distracted from that hit towards B main. And now the other two are split up, and eventually... Oh, never mind. Slacks is going to take down Nitro. Automatic, the last one standing. I was going to say, eventually you got to try and go for it, but, you know, as soon as one is spotted out, he's done and leaves Automatic in a 1v4 attempted save. Nice shot from him onto Slacks, but he is just trying to keep the gun up.
I mean, oof. Sideline there by Rec. I was looking at Slack stats in particular. It's his best map, and it's probably because they win it a lot as well. Like, that helps in your stats. But also, I just see him play a lot more active. Looks comfortable in so many opening fights. As you said, battle hopping feels a lot more comfortable for him. And looking good. Opens up the round back to back now.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going
even more T-side efficiency.
Yeah, he's just going to holding on, I can't speak. Unorthodox angles. There we go. I got the words out eventually. With the AWP, just really almost a shotgun hopping, right? Battle hopping. Got a lot of different words for it, but he's doing a great job of it. And of course, Swisher's already gotten into. They have no idea he's here, and Swisher gets a freebie onto Hex, naded out to 53 HP, but now OC's in a bit of trouble. Does manage to get the trade on through. And we'll swing around here. Rec fighting an A main, and he gets surrounded and dropped here. A lot of focus on his position. That will indicate to M80 that they have to move fast. He's still at the back of the site. They're going to try and stick this plant right under his nose, and they absolutely do that. The smoke provides enough cover, and one thrown in towards E-Box. The Molotov pushes Breeze back as well, and M80 might be able to make this work in a man disadvantage situation. Lake gets a 2K spray down. Automatic gets only one, so now it's a 2v2, and the man advantage again gained for NRG. Fast and furious here on the attempted retake. Slacks flashed out and fragged out. Finally, NRG have a round on the board.
That's an excellent flash to close things off. You do not want to let Slacks get moving with that AWP. I mean, he was already on the right line initially. Had the right idea in the opening stage. But Flashbang gets him instantly off, and the chase down from OC successful. That is, I mean, really just a great round from OC. When Swisher gets out towards that pizza position, that plat, close left out of B main, it becomes infinitely more difficult. And you can see OC is kind of contained into such a small, thin area. If he peeks too far left, he knows an op is scoped up and he's done for. So the fact that OC just threads that needle perfectly is so effective here. This is Flashbang to get aggressive towards the B side. Lots of flashes to back it up. A one-for-one trade, but complications in how Hex gets out of this. It's going to be fighting for his life. He follows it up with an extra kill. They're looking to get more aggressive throughout the map. As Rec gets exposed, it's maybe going to queue up Nitro to get forward, but another kill out of OC, doing fantastic work, setting up those flashbangs, and being able to catch Rec in this aggression. And that will get Nitro pushing and pumping in towards that flank now. So it is now a containment game, as M80 are boxed in on this sort of island towards B at the moment. I'm going to try and fight their way out of it, but not going to be an easy task.
It's a little weird for NRG, though, because if M80 stays silent here, Nitro... Okay, no, he realized. There's the nade to finish off Slack more than likely. No! Ooh. Slack survives with 9 HP. It doesn't go deep enough, and now they're going to push down mid, say, okay, if someone's behind us, there's probably a lot of space to be gained here, and they would be absolutely right. The problem for NRG is... Oh, no! Automatic completely overlooked! Lake and Slacks are gone! I was going to say, the problem is, each player is isolated, and it feels like a sure trade, regardless of the site M80 choose, unless they go out with their knife out and don't realize that Automatic is right behind the smoke. So NRG do indeed get a second in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they knew that Nitro was a player flanking, but they probably had a decent idea that his job was to, call over as soon as they went middle or contact. As soon as he takes that pressure, that we maybe start to shift up where the duo would be, and that duo would ideally be towards B side, but automatic is such a surprise to them when he's around that corner. Smart little counter-strike being played is, look at this aggression towards B. They set up those double flashes again. They had to run through a Molotov, but what is that? Lake runs through the smoke and collects a kill onto Automatic, the savior of last round. OC playing whack-a-mole right now with his AWP. Is he gonna win this game? No. He continues to step his head on up.
What?
And eventually knocked back down by his Swisher. It's all on Nitro, and again, you know he's over towards his A side, so they're just gonna run it away into the B site.
Just a brawl into mid there. All the bodies dropping in that position. That's tough for NRG after winning 2 in a row. M80 just ratchet up the pace completely and run them over.
I feel like splitting the difference here is just going to create even more questions than we came into this day with.
Yeah, I think so.
You know? Wanted to see if M80 would come back and still be able to dominate in the NA scene. Obviously, NRG have been in the rise, kind of dominating in a similar fashion, getting a lot of wins underneath their belt, and now if it's split even, just another team that's going to be gunning it for a good position for these qualifiers. I mean, this is a 12-match win streak that NRG are trying to defend.
See if they can keep it going. Again, very T-sided map. If NRG can scrap together one more round even, that'll help them out as they go over to their attacking side. If they win out, it's obviously even better. 4 rounds is very serviceable on CT Anubis. M80, they want to charge in towards this B site. 4 players already set up here. The lurk is wreck. Looking around to see if anyone's trying to get it on a flank here. No one is just yet. I don't think M80's going to wait around much longer. They do not. 2 frags immediately end the third. No resistance to be found from NRG here on the B site.
And those the crossfires that can get broken down so easily. Back-to-back rounds, we've seen very aggressive stances from NRG and pressing forward on that B main side of things. But again, there's such an explosive nature to this map, and how you can take control. Those B side executes when the utility's tossed out can be brutal. But now, save called in. Guess if you're M80, you probably just want to send all your resources, barring the AWP, to try and hunt this down. Don't want to get too silly with it, so they'll wait and spam the smoke. Lake, gunning for a kill here, not going to connect. No certain death is probably around that corner, but there you have it. I landed, and they're looking to shut down any sort of fight back the NRG have in this map.
Well, a 10th round would certainly push them even deeper into the doldrums here. You're seeing that OC having to settle for a 5-7 here. Not the greatest of buys for NRG. Sure, it does feature a couple of M4s, and you have the full util, so it's not too terrible. But staring down at this deficit is probably what's making them a little more concerned. M80, switching up the playbook here. Going towards A, and Nitro waiting in a good spot. Oh no, deleted immediately, and OC only gets 1 before he falls as well. So advantage M80 as they move in towards the A site. Flank is on. Does Swisher realize it? Automatic, trying not to make any noise. I think Swisher's already seen one, so yeah, he knows that they could be up close and personal. Tosses the molly down. Look where Lake is. Lake gets 1, and the follow-up. Swisher the last. It is all M80 here as the first half comes to a close, and we head to a break. back into it here. 10-2 for M80. They only need 3 more rounds, and this one's done. Obviously, it's the old tried and true saying that the pistol round is absolutely critical here for NRG if they hope to stay in this one. As they switch over to their T side here, Cole.
It is critical. Lining up an execution that they might never get off because they're just getting cut out of this one. 2 quick kills roll on through. The execution does come through eventually, but now they still have to crack through the final remaining member on the site. Needs to get a little extra support, but might not need it as Rek is locking down this defense by himself, looking for the finishing blow, but it won't be at his shoulders there. Instead, Lake will claim the finishing kill, and Rek with a monster 3K will set the tone that M80 are looking for a quick night.
Absolutely ridiculous there from Rek. Clinical shots coming through. He didn't want to reload at the end there. He's just getting those headshots so clean. I think he had like 2 or 3 bullets left in the magazine. He's like, okay, maybe this will work. Then eventually does go for the reload, but he doesn't need to get that last frag. It is his teammates that come through to take care of it on the flank. So NRG do not get the pistol round victory, and they will come in here and they have to force that. There's really no choice. 4 Tech 9s and the Mac 10 come through. Automatic looking for some aggression. OC waiting with him, close by his side. But NRG are stacked up, likely just going to try and go for a blitz as soon as the flashes are thrown onto B. Let's see if it works out for them. Oh no, they won't get a chance to. Swisher actually takes the first fight. Lake gets the follow-up frag, and then Sin finds Hex. Nothing doing again. OC the last one standing, and it'll probably be 12-2. And oh, I take that back. OC's gonna get a couple here. Sin and Lake are his victims.
What?
He's making a case for it here.
That is incredible. What a double up. Now, Slacks. Gonna keep on aggressing forward. How diligent are you on the clear? Walks right into the clothesline. Now Slacks put on notice. He's panicking. Flashbang avoided. Smoke down, but he's boxed in. Oh my god, OC's got something special for us. He's gonna turn back around in towards Rek. And he's right in doing so. We'll see if a little patience goes a long way, or will Rek just break the heart of OC, not letting that clutch roll on through. So many good ideas, so many clean shots with that Tech 9, but Rek won't let you slide. They'll close out and provide safety for M80.
What an effort from OC, though. Seeing some shades of his past come through there. We had those types of clutches coming out on seemingly a regular basis, but, you know, perhaps a few struggles as of late for him finding form. I expect we'll see the old OC at some point or another, but in this one, I don't know. 12-2 in favor of M80. They got 10 chances to close this out. Look, they're just charging out of B main. Slacks gets 1, traded out by Nitro. Lake gonna try and farm away with the MP9 here. They just want to get this one over with, it seems. Lake waiting around the corner, Util sailing forward, flashes galore, but it's just not enough. NRG don't have the firepower. Automatic slips through it. Actually, Hex does get 1.
Bomb grabbed.
Yeah, got the bomb back, and Lake didn't even realize it was right under his nose that they took that one away.
That was a smoke there, the actual chaining of smokes that got them in and out. And now, Rek's aggression might warrant some shakeups in this CT side. Gonna have to, yeah, dive back towards this A side. I mean, they've got be well and clear, but as the smoke fades and they no longer have bomb again, you now have to rotate in kind of an aggressive demeanor rather. It's gonna be Lake that makes that transition. Those footsteps, of course, being heard. There's no secret about it. He's going to be left on an island, forced to play a little bit more passive on this this A side of the map.
Yeah, but NRG, they don't really have that much information going into Palace, and I think that's where they want to end up. And it's actually the incorrect call if you're looking at the numbers here. 20 seconds left as well, so they're going to have to go quickly. I would say advantage M80 here. Yeah, Rek pulls out the incendiary. Now a huge advantage. They have to charge through it. Automatic manages to get the trade and actually get that bomb planted. That will help immensely. I think Swisher, no, he won't get it. He won't make it a 2v1. It's all up to Lake, and the Molotov is thrown at the perfect spot for NRG. But Lake, He's still got a Molotov himself, an HE, and an A1S in his hands, the best rifle of any of the players outstanding. It won't matter. OC, the headshot from the Galil, and NRG still have life.
Yeah, they're able to still stay alive. Absolutely terrifying when they were stomping through with 15 seconds left through Temple, but that Molotov, well, it does separate the offense a little bit. I think it was just a second too late for it to have that full impact, and you can see they just run right past it with those Tech 9s. That is the one asset that they did have, and that's mobility with Mac 10s and Techs. To back it up, they will just look super strong in a recovery effort. Now, how strong is your comeback? Because NRG are going to need a whole lot more of where that came from. It didn't have OC's damage in a before. This would be right back into trialing territory, but they are up against a very lackluster buy, and there's the best weaponry taken down already.
Oh, automatic taken down to 27. A little bit at risk, but his teammate supports him well. Rec actually managed to get the headshot on automatic, but Nitro's going to clean up the rest, it seems. He's got the nade out perfect. Swisher and Lake are in so much trouble. Lake somehow still alive, limping along, and he's the last one standing. Oh, that jump, probably a little bit scary for him. With only 1 HP left, but perfectly fine, of course. And now the round is, well, it's done. NRG are going to win this one way or another, and I mean, this was a force buy for M80. So they will have to at least go on an eco here for 1, perhaps even 2 rounds.
I'm going to take a little bit more time to seal the deal. Looking put together at the moment. It's NRG dealing with that force buy effectively. I mean, they went for a very similar play to what I believe it was Hex did in the opening force buy with the UMP. A couple flashes over middle. But this time you can see automatic with a little discipline. Waits the reaction from M80 and is able to take that mid space efficiently. Now we got 5 USPs. No flashes or anything. It's just going to be the Astralis stack. And they might walk into it, interestingly enough.
Uh-oh. Oh. Not as much damage as I expected from those nades, and they do walk into it. And a couple of frags for M80. That's all they'll probably find here. Slacks, last one standing, and it's done. Yep. NRG get a 5th. I mean, I like the idea. I always did it ever since Astralis did it, but it's just that it's more often than not just only going to yield a couple of frags. It's very unlikely you're going to come out with a round victory in the situation because teams are expecting it, right? That's why you saw NRG throw all those nades, knowing that M80 were on an eco. Anyway, M80 still have a ton of opportunities to close out this map, and they'll get another very good one here, Cole, with 4 M4s and the op.
There's all their firepower to close this thing out. Have a good chance to do so in one of these many opportunities.
A-main aggression right now.
They're getting after it out of the gates. And they're going to also split through canals, but in doing so, they lose out on their mid-prong. It was pressure all over the map. Sin goes active towards middle. You've got the double up through E-box, and you got those 2 players scaling. And now it's a wreck just containing all of the space towards A. So while it is a man down, it's not completely out. Not at all. Still attention being drawn in towards the middle though, and even though they have all of this space on A, they're leaving this B-bomb site a little bit high and dry, and in doing so, late to the party on this site defense. Swisher has to do it all. Smoke would completely nullify him, but Rec finds another one. Now it's a man advantage. They got to figure out a way to cross comfortably, and oh my god, and jumping up there. Hex playing a risky game as a flashbang to go through the smoke. Actually catches Switcher. He gets blinded by his teammate's flashbang. Costs him his life. Hex still having impact with low HP. Back this one up. It's going to be another player rolling on through. Lake's very low, just the same. Hex still holding the line. He does get knocked out by the AWP, and OC with a shot at closing out this clutch will step forward. A smoke on top of the bomb, but he goes for a different target, and it's successful. Lake now has to hunt him down. He whips out the sidearm, and that'll do him justice. This time, the Tech 9 will close out a round for him.
Oh my goodness, OC. Okay, maybe we are going to see some of the vintage OC coming through in this map after all. Great clutch pulled off there in the 1v2. Good shot to make it a 1v1. Misses the second one, but has enough time to pull out the Tech 9 and finish the job. I mean, Swisher got, like you said, I think he got caught by a flashbang from his own teammates. So that's unfortunate because I feel like it could have worked out in his favor, kind of catching NRG off guard, but it just, things didn't get timed very well on the M80 side. So another round goes by the wayside, and Anubis's T-sided nature is poking up its head once more. M80 onto a half buy here. They'll feature 2 Deagles, 2 5.7s, make that 2 Deagles and 3 5.7s, along with a few pieces of util. Could be a round that they can still pull off, depending on how things fall into place. NRG, though, they do not ever want to rush themselves. They take their time in every T round.
On the default. I think OC's seen something, yeah. You can see from the shot. Got some vision on Slacks. We'll be able to knock him out with a wall bang and an extra shot to back it up. For good measure. Sin dancing around with this utility. Imagine just going to be smoking off camera as soon as possible. We'll see when they finally start to scale. Gotta get that smoke down now, essentially. There it is. And now it's going to provide question marks for this NRG squad. 35 seconds left. They got to work within the confines of this clock and with the map control that they currently have at the moment. And pushing past this smoke would be a huge liability. The Deagle's close range, but Sin shifts up. And he misses his shot at knocking down these kills. Rex still available on this A side. Will be able to defend one prong. But the site already laid claim. Rex is going to try and get out of dodge with an AK in hand. And
yeah,
you got to take your prizes where you can.
Yeah, no, definitely. That AK is way too valuable. It's an eco round. Just grab it and go. He goes in for another fight, which I can't blame him for given the situation. But then when he doesn't find it immediately, it's the right decision to fall off here. Lake with the 5.7 in armor. Could argue that that is also worth keeping around, but I think he wants to do damage. Cannot blame him. A frag here would make it more than worth it. And there's one, maybe a second. That's clean. Automatic, waiting for reinforcements. Finds 3, in fact. Blake could even get them all. Finally, Nitro ends him. But that's an expensive round coming through from NRG. Not that it matters too much. They still got plenty of money and their backs are against the wall anyway. But still, nicely done there by Lake with the 5.7. And now M80 will have an AK. Lake built up a lot of money, so his utility will be strong. And another chance for M80 to close this out.
They'll get themselves right back to another purchase. Back with an AK, they got all the tools, 8 smoke, everything you could ask for. What are they going to do now? They're going to shift things up, or they're going to continue this aggression. Here's some very fast-paced play, but they don't need to shift anything up. Rek could just knock down some quick kills. He gets caught with utility, thinking the coast was clear. This isn't the case, but still positive on the trade at the end of the day. And it's going to be left up to Hex, Nitro, automatic to pick up the pieces. What did Rek get away with there? Just 2 quick kills, maybe off of some utility, but this is that activity that I oftentimes will highlight as so valuable. It's one of the specialties that M80 have, is both sides of the half. Can do it on CT side, he can do it on T, but A is his domain when he's in the server. I don't think there's a lot of people that can keep up with how active Rek is at play in this position as well.
Yeah, he really is a key piece for them on Anubis, as we talked about in the pregame, as a player to highlight here on their CT side in particular. And he's doing what we expected. Slacks, waiting with the op. He's been very solid holding angles. Got the shadow advantage, and he also hits the shot onto Hex. Swings around, doesn't find the follow-up, though, so this one is still in doubt for M80. Swisher, I think he needs to wait for reinforcements. He really wants to peek, and he goes and finds the right time. Automatic with util in his hands. Is caught out. Nitro naded down to 23 HP. Flashed out now, trying to go for a fight. Doesn't have the bomb on his back, and finally M80, after multiple opportunities, do win the map 13-7 in their favor. So we end up splitting the series between both squads here, Cole.
Yeah, what did we get? We get more questions as to who's going to be dominating this region, who's going to be locking down, that top place in the ECLs we split in between. I believe that is, on Ancient, it was the first loss so far this season
Yes,
for M80.